Hi everyone, this is Jason here from Nathaniel. In this lesson, we are basically going to look at cadences. Okay, a cadence in music. Well, there are a lot of definitions for it, but the way I understand a cadence is it's a very simple chord progression, like a chord progression which is not so big to be called as a chord progression. Maybe it's just like two chords or three chords or four chords. Classically, I think it's two chords, but I'm just going to title this lesson as cadences so that we put in a lot of things into one lesson. Okay, and this lesson assumes that you just know your notes, your chords, major and minor, your intervals. So it's not, I would say it's not an entirely beginner lesson. So if you're a beginner student watching this, well, the ideal recommendation is to check out or be part of the foundation piano course in any of its forms. You could do it either on our YouTube page itself. There's a link, you could always sign up for one of those things, or you can reach out to Nathaniel via a form and learn music in a foundational manner. As a beginner or anyone who wants to develop like a step-by-step kind of approach. Right. So this lesson is all about cadences. As I said earlier, it's about small chord progressions. Sometimes just using two chords should be more than enough. And well, I'll also give you a few chord progressions which have three chords, maybe even one. The last one will have four chords. Okay, so let's get cracking. If you haven't already, it'll be great if you could subscribe to our channel, hit the bell for notifications, support us on Patreon. You'll also get all the notation whenever relevant for all of our lessons on YouTube. Present, future and past. Okay, so let's get cracking. So the first cadence which you find very commonly is what they call as the authentic cadence. An authentic cadence is nothing but a 5 going to 1. So if you're in the key of G major, the 5 of G is D. So you play the major chord of the 5 and then resolve it to the tonic chord, which is the 1. So in the G major scale, the tonic is G. So 5 going to G, 1. 5 going to 1. Now what we do with the authentic cadence is we could also add a 7th embellishment. You could do that's root, 3rd, 5th major. Then you add the dominant 7th, which is C. You can play that wherever you want. You can do it up there, down here, which is nice. Or if you're on an inversion like this, you could find the 7th somehow. Now there are lots of kinds of these authentic cadences which you'll find. You can always do a Wikipedia as well of all this cadence stuff, but well, the way I'm kind of looking at it is authentic 5 to 1. Think of it as 5 going to 1. Get used to a 5 of any scale, resolve it to the 1, and that's your authentic cadence. So when you do use these cadences, it can really inspire a melody. That's what I'm going to attempt to do in this entire lesson. So if you do la da da dee 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 da da dee doo doo doo, it's kind of the reason why you make a melody in the first place with chords. You have two of them, and you kind of find a way to get the two chords to work with each other dynamically. So that's why you use melodies. So actually in this instance, you're using melody to highlight the chord and go from one chord to the other in the smoothest possible way. So authentic, 7th going to the root. So you could practice that on your other keys. Da, 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 or da 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 da. A great tool is the circle of fifths. If you practice it around that circle, well, it is a circle of fifths. So there you have it. You can practice your authentic cadence, including the next one, which we are going to see using the circle of fifths. So, lot on the circle of fifths has already been covered on our YouTube channel. Check it out in the description. So, the next cadence for you. One of the cadences I've already done a video of. I've done a series on this cadence. It's what we call as the plagal cadence. So the plagal cadence, as noted long ago by the classical musicians, is a 4 going to 1. So a 4, let's say on the key of G, will be C major. You go there. Also called the Amen cadence, because at the end of a general church hymn, you'll say Amen, 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 in whichever part you choose, because you're ultimately singing the chord tones of the plagal cadence, and that's why they call it the Amen cadence. So it's a 4 going to 1. So you go, right? And a lot of songs seem to end on this, especially if you have a gospel song. Even a song like na da 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 da, let it be, yeah. Right? Or Every Rose Has Its Thorn, and all these other epic rock ballads also do a lot of the plagal. So you may also look at a cadence as what it's defined, maybe in a Wikipedia or a theory textbook. They call it the ending. So maybe you have other chords running alongside it or prior to it, and you use these two chords at the end of the cycle, like na 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 na, let it be, right? So something like that would be the plagal, right? So the other way we would use our plagal cadences, well, traditionally, as I said earlier, it's 4 going to 1. You could also do a 4 minor going to the 1 major. This is a very beautiful sound. So if you take the key of G again, the 4 is C. Normally the Amen cadence was Amen. That's major 4 going to major 1. But what if you did a minor 4 going to the major 1? This is a beautiful sound, right? It's so nice that you can just use these two chords alone as your melody. Like very good if you're doing Eastern music, or even Indian music. If you want to add some chords, this plagal cadence or the thought of cadences in general is great, because it's just two chords, so it won't mess up the existing melody which is already there. And the plagal, you can even do 4 major, na, 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 na. Do it to 4 minor, na, na, na. You can do that 4 major, 4 minor, resolve back to the tonic. You can even do something like embellish the minor 4th with a 6th. We call this the minor 6th chord, right? So on our YouTube channel, we've done a playlist on my favorite chords of all time. The minor 6th is definitely up there, and you'll find all the music which I've composed using some of these really, really interesting and rarely used chords. So check out that playlist as well. Right, so that was the plagal. We've looked at the authentic, we've looked at the plagal, and then something which is very important or interesting to consider is the next cadence, called the deceptive cadence. The deceptive cadence is where you do the 5, and instead of going to the major tonic, you do the minor, right? So you go 5 major or 5 dominant 7th. Instead of going to that, you go to la da da, and you have 2 of the common notes, so it kind of works. It really works actually. And it's called deceptive, I guess, because you're assuming that it would be da 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 pum 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 pum. You end on major, but you deceive it, or you have this deceptive cadence by going da dee da da do. Great for changing the section of your song. Maybe you want to go to the bridge from a chorus to something very different, you could do the deceptive cadence, right? So what is the deceptive again? We go 5 to 6 minor. So in the key of the G major scale, what is our 5? Your D major. Normally using the authentic cadence, it would go to G. But using the deceptive cadence, you ask yourself what is the 6 minor, which is E minor, or you ask yourself what is the relative minor of G major, which is the 6. So what I like to do is you can use both the cadences together in one progression, like or change it now. Na 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 na. Da na 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 na. End with a plagal or something. So learning cadences is also a great way to look at or revisit chord progression. Sometimes if you say, oh, I want a 1-5-6-4 loop, then you're going to use it for the whole bit. You're going to use it for verse, then you do something else for the chorus. But if you combine these small pieces, cadences together, authentic, maybe deceptive at the third bar, and then plagal at the fourth bar. So you get yourself this huge chord progression serving the section of your song, and also works great for the lyrics. If you want something more assertive or something more painful, maybe you do the deceptive cadence at line 3. And you end with the plagal taking them back home, and do the authentic later. So you see how we are using these words. It's very important that you don't overthink the words or get scared by the words. We say authentic because it's 2 chords, 5 to 1 or 5-7 to 1. We say plagal because it's 4 to 1 or 4 minor to 1. We say now deceptive because it's this thing, 5 to 6. Right? You're deceptive. That's the deceptive cadence. So you have other cadences as well in music. Yes, there are a lot of them, but I'm just going to kind of go on a tangent and try to tell you something maybe of unofficially, which I call cadences. Maybe they are called cadences, but now we try to build up, add more chords to the equation. Okay, the next one which I think you need to learn is, yes, the 5-1, which is authentic. You do something before the 5, and that's generally going to be your 2. So you have the 2-5-1 major and you have the 2-5-1 minor, used very commonly in jazz music, to a point that those 3 chords work as a pack. So might as well also put them into this topic of cadences as you're learning it as a student. Because when I teach cadences also in a classroom, if we keep doing 2 chord cadences, immediately you get the question, you have the doubt, why can't I add a 3rd chord? Well, in jazz music and in a lot of other forms of music, the 2-5-1 is the main entity of that music. So if you take 2-5-1 in the key of G major, the 2 is your A, so the 2 becomes a minor chord, so 2 minor, 5 major, and then you resolve it to the tonic. So it's kind of authentic because it has that 5 going to 1, but preceding that is the 2. So da da da, one more time, da da da, and you build your tune around that. Play the 1 a little longer is usually what we do. Something bluesy. Right? It's very nice to just play this cadence and come up with something, right? In this case, I didn't come up with something. That's already the Maroon 5 song. Anyway, the other option would be what I use more often in my music, the minor 251. Okay, and we've done an entire playlist called Minor Chord Progressions. Do watch that. That'll be a great follow-up to this video. Minor chord progressions start with that 251 package. So to get a minor chord progression, you want to be on the harmonic minor scale. Harmonic minor, and now when you observe your chords, it'll be 2 diminished, and then 5 dominant 7th. You could even add that flat 9 to the chord, and then the minor. You can color up these chords. It can be a minor 7th flat 5, retaining the diminished quality. Add the flat 9, end on minor. So you have 251 major, you have 251 minor. Those are again very, very cool cadences to practice and to create music. Just thinking of the set of chords will be very cool. Okay, let's move on to the next cadence. Right, so the next cadence is something you can add to your music just to make things epic, right? We use this word epic a lot. I have no idea even what it means, but we just know what it feels like to say epic. That was epic, you know? Right, so before we look at the epic cadence, you can build up to what will appear to be epic by just starting off with diatonic stuff. You can do major 1, go to the perfect 4th major, that'll be plagal, or na 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 authentic, or da da dee deceptive. Maybe you'd like to also do na na 4 going to 5, which we call as the half cadence, na 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 na. Even 4-5-1 is common. La, da, 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 da. So all of that is diatonic. But if you want to sneak in something as we call epic with a lot of the students who keep learning with me, da, 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 we've sort of arrived at this word. Da, 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 do, do, do. So it just elevates the song. Da, 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 do, do, do. Very brave, and what did I do there? So the epic cadence, as I'm calling it for now, maybe there's another name for it, but I'm just calling it epic. So that's your 6 flat major. So with respect to G, E flat is the 6 flat. So you do 6 flat major, then 7 flat major, and then 1 major. So these are all major chords actually. So you go, so you do diatonic stuff, part of the scale, that's what adds that vibe. Maybe the chorus, back to the world, normal world. So when you're diatonic, it's just normal chords, normal cadences, and then this epic cadence can kind of really add to the party. Right, guys? So I'd like to leave you with one more very, very common cadence which we have in music, which is, I think, I don't know what to call it really. I'm just going to call it the modern pop or the EDM cadence, if you will. So what happens with a lot of modern pop music, especially bands like Chainsmokers or what Coldplay has become after a lot of years, you could put them into that category, is you have this progression going very often. Na 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 So what we did in the epic cadence was 6 flat, 7 flat, 1 major. But with the modern pop or the EDM cadence, as we may call it, you do 6 flat, 7 flat, and end on the 1 minor. So that just makes it sound a little bit more popish. You hear a lot of this stuff eventually ending on the minor. So you have epic cadence and then the modern pop cadence, which we are calling now. You can give it your own name if you'd like. And I think that's about it for this lesson. However, I'm going to leave you with one more cadence, which I think is very famous. And I think it's also called that, if I'm not mistaken. So the last cadence for this lesson would be what we call as the Andalusian cadence, used a lot for, I guess, flamenco music. You know, a lot of Spanish music seems to have this. Let me play you the thing. Okay, so how it works is it's a 4-chord cadence. You start with the minor, 1 minor, then you do the 7 flat major, which we discussed earlier. That's F. So G minor, F major, 6 flat major. It's like epic cadence going down. Da da da, and you end on the 5, which is a nice chord because then it pulls back to the da na na na. It goes on and on. So there are a lot of. You could give it a flamenco vibe. Right? Or you can look at like great song like you say, Hit the Road Jack, hit the road Jack, won't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Right? Also, this is definitely the chords used in the song Damaru Dam. So you can call it the Damaru Dam cadence, the Hit the Road Jack cadence, or the official term which is called as the Andalusian cadence. So that's one more thing I kind of like about cadences as a subject, because they all have really weird names to a point that you have to remember them. Authentic, plagal, Andalusian, and now I've added a couple to the party, epic, modern pop, and whatever else, right? So I hope the idea of cadences will inspire you at whichever level you are at on the piano or music in general, and I hope that it can allow you to structure your musical ideas within these compartments of chords. Sometimes you always tend to go back to the simpler things when you're trying to compose music. And how simple can music get when you just look at 2 chords or 3 chords, or in the Andalusian case, 4 chords, right? So you look at cadences depending on the words or the lyrics you're trying to write. More often than not, you look at it in a genre-based system, or you just look at it as an interplay. You try to play around with your cadences, and that's how you kind of tell stories. Even as a writer, you try to look at building tension, building resolution, as we have even in music. So like any dynamic art form, you're trying to narrate a story through, in this case, through chords and notes, right? So I've talked about all of this on the key of G. We will have all of this written out for you on our Patreon page. So do head over to the Patreon channel and get yourself a copy of this entire detailed PDF of whatever we've talked about in our cadences chapter. And also don't forget to hit the like button, share the video if you can, leave us a comment with stuff you'd like to learn. Most of your comments have actually given birth to these lessons which we've put out of late. So we're really inspired by you guys to share with us what you would like to learn next, and so on and so forth. And it's definitely helping the channel grow. Right? Again, this is Jason here from Nathaniel. And before I wind up, if you found the lesson a bit too advanced for your current skill level, there is always our foundation piano course, which includes 2 books which have piano theory, and it includes a lot of lessons which will be growing as we keep recording them and putting them out. So there's a members only foundation portal. You could also consider supporting the channel, as I said earlier, Patreon, or you can hit that join button on YouTube, support our channel, and also gain something in the process. right? Again, Jason here from Nathaniel. Thanks a ton for watching. Cheers.